Welcome on board our very first Alfastreet Marine demo. This being the 28 cabin. This was a boat that actually was available. It was 95% finished, so we didn't get to choose all the options, but I'm actually really pleased with the way that Alfastreet Marine decided to specify this boat with quite a few options. I think it's a beautiful color combination, a really good equipment list, but let me take you on board and go through this Alfastreet Marine 28 cabin. I will come to this aft section later, but what I'd like to show you is something that I particularly like with the Alfastreet Marine boats, is that they are, in my opinion, very luxurious day boats. And not only that, in Dutch we have a word which is gezellig, which means something like cozy. And in my experience, that is something that a lot of people are looking for. They want to be out on the water with their family, with their friends, and just have a great time on the water, socializing, having a good time. And imagine sitting here in this beautiful, very beamy cockpit. I think this can carry at least 6, but probably a lot more person. Let me check the CE plate, which is right here. You can even bring 12 people. Now, you won't be able to fit 12 people here in this area, but probably 8 without any problem. But again, a very nice social area. And a lot of nice details too. Take this table, for example, with these foldable sides, which of course makes it easy to get on and off the boat and go towards the cabin or the bow area. But these recessed hinges are nice details. The stainless steel cup holders, a nice, I think, teak table, just make it a very warm boat. And other nice details are the indirect lighting, which I think is an extra. I don't know all the options by heart yet, but the indirect lighting below here is, I think, a really great touch. But also the upholstery with nice detailing with these and the double stitching here on the sides. People having been watching my videos know that I sometimes explain that this is not only to add a nice touch, but also practical, but because this is a place where actually in 10-20 years time you will see cushions to be worn out, and with this double stitching that doesn't happen that easily. So also a practical reason. And this nice storage area here, very easy to put your phone, maybe a drink, a small snack, whatever. It's just a nice detail that they opened this up. This is actually a place where your back never touches, so it's really convenient. I think it's a great solution. And another nice detail is that even the cushions are slightly narrower here on the top end and slightly wider on the bottom end, so that the backrest is angled, making you just feel comfortable. And with this table, again, it is a very nice and social area. You can have a nice lunch here out in the sun. I really love it. And not only that, there are some other practical details, such as this, for example. I still have to work out. Let me try the other one. Maybe I'm not doing it in the right way. This, for example, is a really great way to be lounging. I mean, imagine sitting here and maybe with your kids playing from the huge bathing platform, jumping in and out of the water. So you could sit here, enjoy the sunshine, and still keep an eye on your kids. I think a great solution. There's a similar setup on that end, and of course you can turn the seats, which as the helm seat, of course, now is in the running position, but both can be turned. They can go up and down. So a lot of practical details. Also, we have to change positions with the cameraman. Now, this boat also has a cooling drawer right here, which is actually quite lengthy. This is the end. So quite a big place to store your drinks or whatever you want to carry and keep cool during the day. The cockpit is a self-bailing cockpit, which is not only very practical because if you want to clean it, I mean, the water simply drains out, You don't need an extra pump or anything, but it's also a safety feature because in really heavy conditions, if water would come in, it drains out automatically, making the boat just more safe. What I also like are the practical details, and with that you can just see that also Alfastreet Marine is quite an experienced boat builder, but practical details such as all these areas being open, so there's lots of storage easily accessible underneath the seats. A really nice thing. And let me quickly just open up for the technical people among you this technical area. There's not a lot you can see maybe in the video, but with some explaining you get the idea probably. What I personally like is things such as double clamps, a water tank which is properly fitted but also fixed. It may seem very logical, but I see it differently on other boats. They use a good quality hose and everything is made in a way that it stays in position for 20-30 years, and it's details such as this, for example, this gunnel with the water which goes in here, draining here instead of in this area. Again, I see it differently on other boats, so it's something I would want to point out, and that is a detail that I like. Also, these hinges, all made out of stainless steel, they are just nice practical details. I'll get to the cockpit area later, but let me go to the helm. A really good helm with a steering wheel which you can tilt like this with the Alfastreet Marine logo. A beautiful dashboard with nice switches which have a small light so that it's easy to see which are on and which are off. Of course, options such as a Marine multifunctional display. You can see SmartCraft gauges here because this boat has been fitted with the Cruiser 6.2 liter 350 horsepower V8 engine. I think a great engine. We have quite a bit of experience, especially with the Sea Ray boats we tend to sell, using that same engine. It is a very smooth and quiet engine, but I'm sure we will be taking this boat out on the water for testing. But what I like is also these, again, SmartCraft gauges, so that there's a digital display on these two, showing you all kinds of details and info on the engine. This is the control for the bow thruster, a very logical control for the trim tabs, which we also know from Axopar. DTS, digital throttle and shift, so very easy maneuvering, making it not only really easy to do this and not having the difficult engaging point, because it's just a soft clunk and it engages. It's not a rattle if you don't do this properly. Nobody can do this in the wrong way. But not only that, because with the digital switching there's no cables coming from the engine to the controls anymore, and they used to bring noise to the cockpit area, which doesn't happen with this setup. So we have experience with this. People who have had this never want anything else. Of course, the man overboard connection here, the nice LED lighting, a visor above the cockpit if you have direct sunlight. This certainly helps. Still being able to check all the gauges and the multifunctional display. Indirect lighting here, giving it a very warm and classy look. A stainless steel protection piece here for your feet. All really nice details, something to grab onto. And of course, swivel seats so that you can sit here if it's really hot and you want to feel the wind. You sit slightly elevated. If you're towing someone on a tube or on water skis, you want a good overview. If you're mooring in the marina, you want easy access to the steering wheel and the controls, and that makes it easier and you have a better overview. So really practical. So, well, with that, that is the cockpit area. And let me take you to the bow area. Again, this is a cabin. So below here is actually a cabin you can sleep in. But this also is quite a huge bow area, which can be really nice to sit also and enjoy the sunshine. If it's extremely hot, my experience is that this is a place where people like to stay, because here you catch the wind if it's, say, 35 degrees or so. You are not seeing cushions here at the moment, and that is because it's a demo. It's just been finished a couple of days before the show. But that still is a possibility if someone would want to add the bow cushions here. And of course, really nice things such as a stainless steel bow rail with nice welding. You can see here, this is just nice detailing, that there's no ugly looking welds on the connection points. A nice small bow platform protecting the anchor, also to be used as a step-on if you're mooring bow first in an area where you have relatively high docks or a quay to get on and off the boat. And of course an anchor locker, nice recessed double stainless steel hinges. Something simple such as this is something I tend to appreciate. The anchor winch being under the floor, so you don't stumble over the anchor winch. And a nice stainless steel anchor. Not only that, also a stainless steel chain. Well, really nice details again. By the way, the deck is a permateak option. I really think they did that in a nice way with this. These sides, it's not just a simple setup with just stripes like this, but these sides just make it more warm and classy. Stainless steel cleats, of course, I have been told, but I really cannot confirm that from my own experience, but I'm sure it is correct, because this is something that the German dealer informed me about, that also Alfastreet Marine is laminating reinforcements in areas where the cleats are installed. So let me take you into the cockpit. Going down here, again, nice LED lighting here on the sides. A nice door, by the way, which slides and closes like this. It's just really nice details that I like. Again, something to grab onto. And going in, and when the cameraman is following me, something that I always tend to show in my videos is the length of the place to sleep in. And if you don't know it yet, most people know me as the 1.92 m guy, which tells how tall I am. And you can see, I mean, it's not a 35-footer, but still, I could sleep here. You could sleep 2 people here. I think this length is around 2 meters. And what I particularly like about this cabin is just the feel. I mean, it feels very warm, very rich. There's lots of nice detailing, such as the use of the material here, especially here. Nice teak, indirect lighting, a big mirror. There's plenty of headroom here. There's just a lot of detailing. I like the classic porthole on the port side, and also the teak around the windows here in the bow area. It just again makes you feel very comfortable and warm. Here below there's a table also, so you could also sit here and have a drink or a light lunch. And of course there's a toilet. And again, it is a 28-footer, so it's not extremely roomy, but even me being an above average guy lengthwise, I can still sit here and use the toilet properly. This, by the way, is because of the transport. I'll leave it on because it's something that somebody else did for the transport also here. But this also is a shower, and I have seen here that there's a pump, a shower pump below. So this could even be used as a shower. Now, to be honest, I don't think that will happen a lot, especially in the Netherlands, where we have great marinas with great facilities. But still, if you would want to take a simple shower while sitting here, it is possible. This boat has an electric toilet with the controls here. Again, a nice classic looking porthole, a mirror, indirect lighting, nice wood. It's just very, very nice. And not only that, what I like also is that there's some cupboards. So there's good storage possibilities and nice detailing, such as these things, which if it were to be slightly wet, you don't slip here. And not only that, this is something that I like. This is, of course, the documentation of the boat with a nice Alfastreet Marine logo, and even the key has this nice Alfastreet Marine logo. It's just, it says something about the attention to detail and the finishing that Alfastreet Marine is doing. I'm not sure whether that is easy for the cameraman, but there's a switchboard here with all the switches really neatly installed, easily accessible. And it even shows that this boat does not only have a black / holding tank, but also a gray tank, a gray water tank, I should say, which is something I see in a much higher caliber. So I'm actually a bit surprised that this boat even has a gray water tank. So that is a nice detail. Again, a nice stainless steel protection here. And while talking about details, let me also open up the engine hatch and take you to the area. But before we do, there's something I am forgetting more or less, and that is these areas. There's one on this side, which is very convenient if you want to well, store some things. There's drainage also. And what I like also is stainless steel gas struts. May seem obvious, but a lot of times they are used from a different material, and in 10 years time or so, these areas usually being a bit wet, they tend to corrode, but not if it's a stainless steel one like this one. There's one on the other side also, and there's a shower on that side. But again, let me take you into the engine compartment with this nice V8 6.2 liter Cruiser engine. And some things I'd like to point out are, for example, the insulation, not only here, but all the way down below. There's lots of insulation. The way the cables are laid out and also documented. I'm not sure you can see it on the video, but there's labels with all cables and connections. There's 3 batteries, 1 for the engine, also clearly marked, 2 I suppose for the service, and there's probably, this boat also has a bow thruster, another one separately for the bow thruster. Really huge electrically powered gas struts to open up this engine compartment, automatic fire extinguishers, double, so a really good layout. You can also see that there's still lots of space here. So if you'd want to bring, for example, a stand-up pedal board, water skis or whatever, there's still lots of place to store them. I don't know what they put there. That is something that is probably here for the show. But a great engine compartment with lots of nice detailing and also space. Talking about the detailing, these stainless steel sides here are also nice details. This protecting the sides, the fiberglass, really nice stainless steel solutions. This entrance door, by the way, also with the Alfastreet Marine logo in this window. This is just a nice detail, especially if you have a dog or small kids. Very practical. Cup holders, a huge bathing platform, which is an option. What I personally like, because a lot of the boating that people do is not actually driving, but anchoring, swimming, having a good time on the water. And this just adds to all the fun on the water, especially while anchoring. You could even, as an option, make this a bathing platform which can be lowered electrically. I don't think it is on this boat, but notice also the indirect lighting here. This Permatique, again, a really nice grab rail here made out of stainless steel. And of course, this lounge area, which even for tall guys like myself is really good. Actually, this helps me staying safe here, protects me from sliding off. So it's a really good and nice solution. So you may notice that I'm becoming more and more enthusiastic about this Alfastreet Marine 28 cabin. I cannot wait until it arrives in Aalsmeer to take it out on the water. Keep following our channel because we will be driving this boat and testing it on the lake in Aalsmeer. And there will probably be also a 28 with electric engines, double installation. So keep following us, but for now, thank you for watching our very first Alfastreet Marine video. Many more to follow. See you next time.